companies pay massive salaries to engineers who can walk onto a chaotic client site and figure out exactly what needs to be built, rather than simply writing code in a vacuum. Building another toy chatbot will not prove you have that level of product judgment. To stand out, you have to demonstrate your ability to navigate the real world, and you do that by documenting your project like a professional. This checklist shows the 4-part structure of the portfolio document: scope, trade-offs, troubleshooting, and standardization. Before we start, you need 2 things: a completed AI project, ideally one wired to a real database or an external API, and a blank text document. By the time we finish, you will have a document designed to answer the specific questions hiring managers ask in FDE interviews, questions that a GitHub repository alone cannot address. Step 1 is defining the project scope and bottleneck. Take a look at this split screen. On the left is a standard README with basic installation steps. On the right is the business case study we are going to write instead. The purpose of this first section is to take a messy, ambiguous client request and translate it into a clear, solvable engineering task. Let's say a hospital comes to you and asks to use AI to cut down emergency room wait times. That request is incredibly broad and lacks specific parameters. You need to document how you narrowed that request down. Explain the specific metric you targeted, such as reducing the time it takes to triage incoming patient symptoms by 15%. Notice we haven't mentioned Python or large language models yet. A core forward-deployed engineering practice is defining why a problem matters before explaining how to solve it. Laying out the scope explicitly shows the recruiter you know how to identify a business problem that will generate a return on investment. Step 2 is the technical trade-offs section. This decision matrix shows the exact compromises we made to choose one tool over another, rather than simply listing our software stack. Let's say you chose Postgres over a dedicated database like Pinecone. You would write down that the client needed strict relational mapping for their existing patient records, making that feature more critical than pure vector search capabilities. Review your own draft right now. If it reads like a simple installation guide, rewrite it to focus entirely on the architectural constraints you had to work around. Use a formal decision matrix format to objectively score competing options based on factors like cost, speed, and reliability. Defending your choices with a matrix tells a hiring team you evaluate tools based on project constraints, instead of picking whatever framework happens to be trending online. For our third section, we are creating the troubleshooting log to document the friction of deployment. You need to detail at least one major roadblock you hit while building your project. Pick a messy data pipeline failure, an authentication error, or a strange edge case. This callout illustrates exactly what you need to do. Spell out the exact error code you received, the steps you took to isolate the cause, and the specific fix you implemented to resolve it. Developers often want to scrub their portfolios clean of any mistakes. Resist that urge. Recruiters are actively looking for evidence that you can handle the difficult integration work that makes up 80% of the actual job. On the job, you operate inside a client's legacy servers and imperfect internal networks, not a perfectly configured sandbox. Detailing how you navigated those inevitable roadblocks proves you take radical ownership of delivering a working product. Finally, we reach section 4, the standardization plan. In this section, you will answer a single question. If you had to deploy this exact same solution to 10 new clients tomorrow, how would you do it? This flowchart shows the scaling process in action. Identify the components of your code that can be abstracted, turned into reusable templates, or fully automated, so you aren't starting from scratch every time. Do not treat your project as a single, isolated deliverable. You have to look past the immediate fix. Writing a custom script solves one problem for one person. Abstracting that script into a template creates a repeatable enterprise capability. Outlining a clear standardization plan proves you can translate individual client success into scalable company revenue. This structural view maps out our final asset. We have successfully clarified the scope, detailed the trade-offs, logged the troubleshooting steps, and outlined the standardization plan. This document puts your product judgment on display in a format recruiters can immediately verify. You now have a tool that proves you know how to clarify messy client demands, make intelligent architectural choices, repair broken infrastructure, and scale solutions effectively. Export this document as a clean PDF, or pin it as the primary README file at the top of your GitHub repository. Feature this specific case study link prominently at the very top of your next job application. Repositioning your work in this way shifts the focus from how the code was written to how the business problem was solved, which is precisely the perspective the top AI labs are looking for right now.